Welcome back. I'm recording this a couple days before Christmas and wanted to cover something that's been top of mind for me for the past couple months, as well as you see it often with clients. And wanted to first start out with a client story from a couple years back. Was working with somebody that was ultra successful, was very good at their job, but that was clearly the priority. They had a wife and family and great husband, all of that. But you could most certainly tell from the outside that work was the most important thing. They didn't really have any hobbies, anything like that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But as soon as they retired, those are the people that you see, in my opinion, struggle the most to adjust to their new reality once the main thing is taken away. Another example would be Tom Brady. Tom Brady was obviously arguably the greatest football player ever, but yeah, I would say while he's at Fox now and doing all of that, that football is still the main thing. And obviously has had his issues off the field with his marriage and divorce and all of that. So that's what I want to talk about today and really want to hit on a couple ideas and concepts to think about, to maybe lean into if you're already doing, or maybe make some adjustments if you've gone the wrong way. And the first one being making a life versus making a living. Morgan Housel wrote about this concept in his most recent book, The Art of Spending Money, and he effectively lays out the trap of sacrificing your actual life, your health, family time, all for the ideology of wealth. And you see this oftentimes in very successful people, and they lean into it. They're very good at it and shy away from and don't give their family or their health the appropriate amount of time. And eventually it does cost them. And in my opinion, the goal is more to utilize money for independence and leverage to acquire things that make you happy, experiences, you name it. And so if you find yourself headed in this direction and want a second set of eyes on your situation, I love doing stuff like that. So feel free to reach out anytime. The other thing is rejecting the supposed to trap. In the book, Morgan writes this great example of how he was a valet when he was much younger, and somebody came out and was bragging about buying a $21,000 armchair, which sounds as outrageous as it is. And what's the craziest part and what he was really hitting on was that this individual felt like they were supposed to do that, that's society, their friends, people at the country club felt like that's just what you were supposed to. And if you're in that supposed to trap, now's as good of a time as ever to question that, to question, do you really value that $21,000 armchair versus a $2,000 or $5,000 one? Uh, Something to consider. Along those same lines was the whole want versus need. Shouldn't be new to anybody here listening, but this is more a reminder. And especially during the holidays, things can get away from us as just like anybody. So in the book, he outlined this great analogy of this lady that went and got LASIK, and she got the surgery. Everything went well, comes back a few weeks later and is pissed off at the doctor because it didn't fix the real problem that she wanted fixing, and that was her marriage and how people viewed her. She thought that LASIK would fix that, when in fact there being deeper conversations and harder things than just money and solving her vision issues. That's not going to fix those problems. And then the final thing is around the art of spending money. And I would say a lot of times people treat it as a spreadsheet, and life is not that simple. And to go back to that $21,000, if you happen to be an art collector and derive huge amounts of joy from it, that's a very different situation than somebody that is supposed to do the people expect them to buy that country club membership or go on that trip or whatever it may be. So if you feel like you've fallen into that trap, now's as good of a time as ever to question that, to reevaluate your spending and figure out what brings the most happiness, contentment, you name it, around your spending, and just get all of your financial spending, saving, investing, all of those goals working in your behalf towards whatever goals you have for your family, for yourself, you name it. And so I'll leave you with this. A simple life might still be extravagant. What matters is that you actually choose it rather than being addicted to the mere appeal of it. So I'll leave you with that, and I will see you in a few weeks. Thanks. Bye.